Most important to you?
I'm extremely concerned about the border.
Illegals, they gotta go.
People are coming here seeking asylum.
Baloney. They're coming here for the freebies.
When people talk about immigration, they're thinking we're saying we don't want immigrants of any kind, and that's not what people are saying. People are saying that there are people who have come here legally. Why do they get pushed aside to allow people who have not even worked one day in our country, have not paid into the system?
I took my brisket and mac and cheese with me to catch Ken Lasker with a to-go order.
How closely are you watching this election?
Oh, very closely.
He was the only Harris supporter we met at lunch, even though Washoe County has historically been pretty politically split. Rosie Martins is originally from Mexico and appreciates the Moscow Mule. Her husband, Gary, is from Portugal. The Republicans are concerned about the economy and the border.
I want it to be secure. I want it to be something that the people will not be in danger when they cross in their kids and their families, and to know who's crossing, too. If you're not following.
So there you saw it. There you heard. I just want to come in here, real folks. We're going to get to it. But do these people here look like? Not a single person. One person the CBS intrepid reporter found out there, right? That a white guy, a white dudes for Harris. But everybody else, she's from Mexico. He is from Portugal. Light-skinned whites, right? They're white supremacists. They're voting for Trump. The black lady there voting for Trump. The white woman there voting for Trump. This is in Nevada, folks. Couldn't find a single person, went to a ton of restaurants. Anyways, let us continue.
Have nothing to do in this country.
We met business owners in telecom, real estate, and mortgage lending.
Everything has gone up. Everybody feels it at the grocery store, at the gas pumps. And yes, I do contribute that to Biden.
I think they just keep thinking that if they keep putting money towards something, it's going to fix the problem. It's the same as if you have an old house, oh, let's just keep fixing it. Sometimes the solution is you got to tear it down.
They call it money pit. Here we're going to call it the immigration pit.
Rebuild.
And get a mortgage from you. Join you?
Leanne and Stephen Schaefer were first to arrive and say they can't wait to vote.
I want someone who's strong, who demands respect, and who gets the respect, and who can deal with foreign leaders.
Geez, I wonder who that could be.
I think Trump's the guy.
There's so much going on throughout the world, in this country as well. But do you remain hopeful about America?
Do you remain hopeful about America? Let me just pose this question to you that way, because she knows they're Trump supporters. So, of course, if you want to remain hopeful, there's no way you can vote for the Trumpster. You got to put the Trumpster in the dumpster, according to her. Harris is the joyful one, the hopeful one. That's the way. Do you see her? Look at her. Look at this, folks. Look at the head tilt, the eyes, the lips, the hands folded. Do you feel hopeful about America? Let's listen to this guy's answer, folks. This is what America is all about now.
I tell you, I've never owned a gun in my life, and I own 4 of them now.
Really?
Yes. I fear for our country.
We had so much fun. But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant. And we left no stone.
So, wow. Isn't that incredible? As he said, not one, they found one person, white dude for Harris, we said before. In all Nevada, folks, this does not bode well for Harris if they're looking in terms of trying to, keep Nevada in the blue column. And that's just part of the problem. I'm going to show you a video clip from Atlas Intel. You got to check these people out, folks. Go to their Twitter page. Check out Atlas Intel. According to everybody, New York Times and all the other people out there, they were the pollster that was the most accurate in terms of the 2020, the 2022. They were the numero uno ones. They've got Trump out there, the CEO of that place, the person in charge. Listen to what this guy says about where they feel Trump is right now compared to Biden. Folks, this is going to knock your socks off.
On the issues. Actually, even as we're talking about this huge boost for Harris compared to our last poll, Trump is doing much better now in terms of this analysis. So it does appear that, you know, a lot of what the dynamics is today is that people say, I like Kamala, but I'm not really trustful in that she will do a better job than Trump on these issues.
Right. That's one of the things you know what? There might be some of these people that are saying that maybe they want to give Harris a shot or at least a try because they just don't like the way that Trump talks. He's just too, you know, alpha, too much testosterone. You know, he's boisterous, he's this, he's that. So maybe if we might be able to get a few things, you know, Harris could do the same things. But if you take a look here, who do you trust more to deal with? Environmental protection, Harris is only up by 6. Only up by 6, folks. In education, Trump's up by 3. Healthcare, Trump's up by 5. Reducing poverty and inequality, according to Atlas Intel, Trump's up by 6. Reproductive rights, she's the strongest thing that Harris should be on top of. The strongest thing, folks. Reproductive rights, abortion issues. They're only saying that Harris up by 2. Safeguarding democracy. We all heard about this talk that Trump is going to, you know, just get rid of democracy. He's going to be Hitler from day one. He's going to be the, you know, dictator. Trump safeguarding democracy by +4. Combating corruption, 9. Justices to the Supreme Court. Trump's up by 7. Who do you trust more in trying to find peace or a solution to war in Ukraine? Trump up by 12. Economy, inflation. Economy up by 14. Reducing inflation, Trump by 14. China-U.S. competition, Trump by 15. National debt, Trump by 14. Immigration, he's up by 17. Conflict between Israel and Hamas, he's up by 16 points. The only thing that Harris scored on, and barely, was reproductive rights and environmental protection. Let's listen to some more of what this gentleman has to say.
The economy, U.S. economy and job market, inflation, those things that we were saying first on our previous graph, Trump is ahead here, 14 points. 14 points on the economy, 14 points on inflation. When it comes to immigration, he's ahead 17 points.
Which is his strongest subject.
Well, I'm very much oriented by the numbers we have. And I believe in those numbers. And if I believe in those numbers and I think about how this plays out, you know, swing state by swing state, and that is something that we'll be releasing next week, I would give Trump 70% chance of winning and Kamala 30%. That means that, you know, Kamala still has a chance, but I wouldn't call this race that narrow at this point in time based on this built-in advantage that Trump has.
So if that wasn't bad enough news from the #1 pollster over the past 4 or 5 years, Atlas Intel, what do you think our pals over at CNN, the corporate news network, the Clinton news network, the Cabal news network, you know, every once in a while, CNN drops a little pearl. They're sort of like the Austin in Texas, you know, they're like the little blueberry in a sea of red. Every once in a while, CNN comes out with something, and Harry Enten has got some news for Kamala Harris and her campaign as well. So let's take a look and see what's in store with Harry Enten and what he's talking about and what he's looking at the numbers. Take it away, Harry.
Why this poll in and of itself isn't either A, surprising, or B, that great news for Harris. Explain.
All right, so, you know, it's not that surprising, Mr. Berman, from my undisclosed location. You'll never guess where I am. So take a look here. National polls in the last month, including leads within the margin of error. Look, Kamala Harris leads in pretty much every single national poll. She's led in 9 of the polls that have been released over the last month. Trump has just led in 1 national poll over the last month, and we've had 1 tie. So the fact that a national poll shows Kamala Harris ahead, not really much of a surprise because, John, pretty much...
One of the things you have to understand here, they're not utilizing anything from Rasmussen. They're not utilizing anything from big polling data. I think that's, Barnes and Barris. Not using anything from Atlas Intel. Not using anything from Trafalgar. Okay, they're not using anything at all. And I think I said from Rasmussen. So they're not utilizing anything when they're saying Harris leads. They're using all the other polls that were so terribly, they were just bad polls. But they're using that because that's what's part of the RCP. So that's why you see Harris leading in that Trump leads. That might have been the one time they might have, I don't even know who they would have picked for which poll, that was. Anyways, let's listen to Harry as he continues.
All of them do.
And the thing is, Harry, thanks to the Founding Fathers, this isn't a national election exactly, is it? Oh, now you're suddenly behind me. You keep on moving. There's Harry, still in an undisclosed location, but at least virtually behind me, making me very nervous. All right, Harry, talk to us about what the states look like, the battleground states.
Yeah, so look, this is about the Electoral College, right? So let's take a look at the average margin. Nationally, Harris is ahead in the average poll by 2.5 points. But look in those 7 key battleground states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Harris is only ahead by 0.3 points, John. So the bottom line is, in those 7 key battleground states, it's a significantly tighter race than it is nationally, John.
So Al Gore and Hillary Clinton are calling right now, Harry, asking what the chances are that Harris could win the popular vote but lose in the Electoral College.
Okay.
Like Hillary Clinton!
2.5 point lead nationally here, right? Okay. Harris's chances, if she wins the popular vote by 2 to 3 points, the chance she wins the Electoral College is only 53%. The bottom line is, once you have to get all the way north to about 3 to 4 points for Harris to have a clear chance, the clear majority chance of winning the Electoral College. If she only wins by less than 2, look at that. Only a 23% chance of winning. Right now, Harris is right now in that danger zone.
And I'm telling you right now, folks, the way that I see it, as we get closer and closer to the election, you're going to have these polls start to push polls. All the ones that lean heavily left, that are just absolutely terrible, like Quinnipiac and Yahoo.gov and, Axios, Ipsos, and all these other ones that are out there. All these individual polls that were just so bad in 2016, 2020, 2022, they're going to start to push. I really believe you're going to start to see these numbers come out where you're going to see Harris all of a sudden in the 3 to 4 to 5 range. You're going to have some polls. I think you're going to have some polls that are going to show her north of 5 points. Why? To show everybody, hey, she's got a shot at the Electoral College. They can't be pushing these polls out that she's tied nationally or that she's only 1 or 2 ahead. These polls have got to be 3 to 4, because if it's 2 to 3, it's a coin toss. And I truly believe my take after looking at everything, they told us in 2016 this was going to be an absolute rout. 400 plus for the Clintons. It was going to rout. That's what we heard. They were wrong. In 2020, Biden has got this by unbelievable margins. Remember one time he was up in Wisconsin by like 17 points? He won it barely by 1. He was up in Iowa. He was up in Florida. He was up in North Carolina. They were so wrong. Yes, he won, but the percentages that they were talking about, it was supposed to be an absolute, he was supposed to destroy Trump. 40,000 votes separated them. So now when they're saying this, to me, the whole media is pushing this narrative. Tight race. Check out my other videos. I've got Trump right now at 345, Harris at 193. Would I care if I lost those other 45 electoral votes and I'm wrong in terms of Trump flipping some of those other states? Like I have been flipping Minnesota, New Mexico, Virginia, New Hampshire. Would I feel bad if Trump didn't flip those and he only won 300 electoral votes? Heck, I could care less. If he gets 270, I'm happy. But I just see it that the whole narrative is going in one direction, and that's where they want to focus you and push you in, corral you into going down that lane. I don't agree with it. Not with the numbers that I've seen, not with the registrations that are occurring, not with this thing here. I believe right now Trump has got a popular vote margin somewhere around, I think it's right now it's 5. But let's say it's even somewhere between 3 and 5. He's got this in the bag. Let's continue with Mr. Harry.
We're basically about half the time, given that popular vote margin nationally, she would win. And so here's the situation. Chance Harris wins the popular vote at this point is about 70%, but the chance she wins the Electoral College is only about 50%. So the bottom line is, at this hour, John, there's about a 20% chance that Kamala Harris wins the popular vote, but actually loses in the Electoral College. So we could be heading towards one of these splits that we saw in 2016 and in 2000, whereby one candidate, Kamala Harris, wins in the popular vote, but loses in the Electoral College. Basically, at this hour, we're right in that sort of weird middle zone where we honestly don't know what's going to happen based upon the popular vote. And that is why those national polls that show Kamala Harris ahead, at this point, really don't matter that much.
Harry,
thank
you so
much
wherever you are. Stay safe, my friend.
There you have it, folks. My take. I put my numbers up there, give you my analysis, my predictions. Check out my other videos out there. You'll see in terms of where I have it, hasn't changed. I still think Trump's 345, Harris is 193. That's where it is, folks. Good night. You're watching the Dr. Nassar Sheikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nassar. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Take a look at our other video links above and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.